I have Roni Geva and Margaret Katch sitting next to me, and they have created one of the funniest shows that everyone should go take a look at. And I've been watching it, and it's hilarious. Thank you so much for being here.
We're so happy to be here.
We're so happy to be here.
I'm glad to have you. I keep telling them, I keep thinking of little parts in the show that are so funny, and I'm so giggly. It's so funny. So let's get right to it. Tell us about Control-Alt-Delete.
Well, Control-Alt-Delete happened because Roni and I both had abortions separately, not together.
But
it wasn't like, let's go get a mani and a pedi and a borscht.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it was not one of those Sundays. So separately, not together, we had abortions at the same clinic years apart before we knew each other. And we were trying to figure out what we should make next. And I said I wanted to do a web series, and Roni said, what about? And I said abortion, and Roni said,
only if it's funny. Because I had a funny abortion, which I know it might be controversial for people to hear, but I had a funny abortion. And at the time, I remember thinking, am I on a hidden camera show? Like, what is actually happening? And it was so funny, in fact, that when we started writing our show, we were like, well, we're gonna interview people about their abortion story so that everything is based as much in truth as we can. And my abortion was so ridiculous that we were like, well, let's sprinkle my story through everyone's story, because no one would believe that all of that happened to one person. So we decided to make it. We went and interviewed a whole bunch of people, and that was season 1.
And then season 2, we decided to really make it a true workplace comedy, which just happened to be set somewhere where people have abortions, which is a really incredibly normal procedure. It happens all the time. So we really just wanted to normalize this incredibly routine procedure through comedy. So truly, to make a long story shorter, Control-Alt-Delete is a workplace comedy set in an abortion clinic that is inspired by real stories from women and clinics all over the country.
It is like The Office in that it's laugh out loud hilarious and about a workplace, but in an abortion clinic.
And that's our goal, so thank you.
Really successful, right? Emmy nominated.
Yes.
The show's a hit. I want to know some of kind of the best reaction you've gotten from fans.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, the good stuff or the scary stuff?
Yeah, the good stuff. We're gonna get to the scary stuff.
Okay, because there's definitely scary stuff too.
Yeah.
Well, I love it when people come up to us and will be like, I have never told anyone this, but this is my abortion story. I love that, because I think that by being so forward and frank about our story and about so many people's story, we are liberating people from the backpack of shame they've been carrying around their whole lives and saying, it's okay to talk about this. It's totally fine. And so that for me is my favorite part, is when people come and tell us their abortion stories.
And piggybacking on that, actually, I think my favorite thing that happened was, this is so good. So a young woman commented on one of the posts that we'd made on social media. And it was about how she was in a really difficult situation. And we ended up reaching out to her individually and saying, is this true? Was this just an example? And she said, no, I really want to have an abortion, but I can't because I'm dating someone who is really against it and I can't afford it. And I live in Iowa and I don't have the money to travel to get there. And someone from a West Virginia abortion fund also saw this comment and reached out to us, and we were able to connect this woman in Iowa with an abortion fund in West Virginia. She got to have her procedure paid for partially by the Iowa Abortion Fund, partially by the West Virginia Abortion Fund, and it was able to happen because we were having this dialogue out loud. And that, I think, has been the most important reaction that we've had to our show.
And so, right, because it's not just about being funny, it's intentional. You guys you're doing something.
Yes. Absolutely. So we believe that some of the greatest change that's happened in this country has happened through the media, through comedy. So if we look at I Love Lucy, the first interracial couple was on I Love Lucy. Then we had
Will and Grace.
So then suddenly everyone had a gay best friend, and it was
so
totally
if you
normal.
lived in the Midwest and had never met a gay person, you would be like, but I have 2 gay best friends on TV, and now being gay isn't scary, right? And that movement moved a country towards love is love. And so we feel like now it's abortion's turn.
It's hard not to be, Edwin is laughing too, it's hard. You two are such characters that it's hard not to be giggly. And so you said something, I wanna break this down a little bit more for people who maybe haven't watched yet.
Yes.
You said my abortion story was funny.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Okay, so
Just you wait.
Okay.
First of all, I show up, I'm sitting there, I'm reading my magazine, and my boyfriend was with me, ex-boyfriend. This is a long time ago. Bless and release. And then this woman walks in and she's like, a tornado of a person, and she runs up to the woman at the desk and she's like, I'm on Zoloft, is that gonna be a problem? Which I was like, and then I proceeded to do the dumbest thing that one can do, which is make direct eye contact across a room with someone like that. And I was like, so of course she came and sat down right next to me.
Of course, you're friends now.
And she's like, is that your boyfriend? He's very attractive. Like in front of it. Oh my gosh. So that's like point one. Then I go in, they do the ultrasound, whatever. They're like, do you wanna look? And I was like, sure. Oh, look, potential. And then you have to talk to the counselor. And I love it, you're like. And so I talked to the counselor and I was very whole about this decision. I was fine. My roommate in college volunteered at Planned Parenthood, so I really knew what was gonna happen. And the counselor's like, okay, well, we still have to sit here. So, and I was like, great, let's make conversation. What else do you do? And she said, I'm part of the Zero Population Growth Movement. And I was like,
what?
The Zero Population Growth Movement, like no more people on Earth? And she was like, I was like, well, this is the perfect job for you.
Oh my gosh, this is overwhelming.
Crazy, right? And then
it gets better.
And then I go and actually have my abortion. And at the end of it, because I couldn't afford the good drug, so I was awake for the whole thing.
Oh my gosh.
The doctor's like, hey, Nurse Nancy tells me you're a comedian, let's hear a joke. And I told him one, because I'm a people pleaser. And then, at the recovery room, our friend,
the tornado.
The room is like full of hundreds of lazy boys that she could sit in, empty. And I'm sitting there and she sits right next to me and is like, you don't look like you're in any pain. And I was like, oh, I'm definitely in pain. And then we end up having this whole conversation where she tells me this is her 5th. And we talk about multiple abortions and I was like, great.
It's it's overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
Where you like, this can't be real.
And I left.
But here's the thing that I think is really important, is that we've both interviewed lots of different people about their experiences, both clinics and people who've had the procedure. And Roni's experience, while maybe the most uniquely funny, is not the only one that had random, funny, interesting, weird things happen, because that's life, right?
It's also a medical procedure, and everyone has had crazy things happen to them at a hospital, at a doctor's office, at a dentist office. Everybody has, and I think that's the good thing about normalizing something that is part of women's rights. This is part of healthcare, and not a death penalty.
Correct.
And so I think that that's important because it's focused on facts, and it's funny. But you said there's some crazy in this. So what have been some of the negative?
Well, Glenn Beck did a rant on us after season 1 came out. So the crazy happened after that a little bit. We got not death threats, but we got people saying that we were worse than Hitler and that we should be dead and things like that. So a few people came out like
so pro-life people were saying you should die. That's fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Right, I mean, yes, which is one of the reasons I like to call them anti-choice
people,
because
being very intentional.
Yes,
and saying pro-life and die in the same sentence.
Exactly,
because that doesn't make sense.
It does not. So truly, they think that that this procedure has caused a Holocaust among babies, because that's what they think, that when a couple cells get together, that it's a full person. It should have all the rights of an individual person.
Well, the zero population lady's not helping.
No, probably not.
Like I can't believe that. So I'm assuming that never stops. Right.
The hate?
Right.
The hate.
Yes.
You know, it's been so much less vitriol than we thought. We were really like girding our loins
We were girding our loins. Our moms and dads and siblings were all girding their loins. And I have to say, it's not as bad, but
very minimal.
I stopped reading the comments on our socials.
You are strong. I wish I could. I wish I could stop responding to people who are mean to me.
Yes, they're just, because then here's the thing. Remember how I said I'm a people pleaser?
Yeah.
When I read all that hate, which is again, not as much as we expected, when I read it, immediately I turn into a 5-year-old girl that's like, did I do something wrong?
Right.
No one likes me anymore. Oh no, are we in trouble? And Margaret is like, no! And then I'm fine again. Yeah.
So when I talked to Roni and she's sad, I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, I was reading the comments.
Oh, and it's like, no. We're not even let that ruin our entire day. So right now, I want to know, because the shows are on Vimeo, right?
Yes.
Do you have any plans on taking this to a bigger platform? And have you had any, I guess, speed bumps in that.
I mean, that's really our dream. So our dream is to have a half-hour show on a major network or studio, so that this can truly be just a half-hour comedy set in an abortion clinic. So that is our goal.
And so that then Nancy in the Midwest can be like, well, I might not have had an abortion, but this character did, and gosh, she's just so funny and likable. And somehow that helps transform the conversation around abortion and normalize it in our country where it desperately needs to be normalized. So that's the dream, and we're working on it.
Thank you two so much for being here. Before you go, can you tell everyone where specifically they can find the show?
Yes, so vimeo.com/control-alt. No. Roni, you do it.
I'll do it. Here we go. Okay, I got it. Okay. Vimeo.com/channels/control-alt-delete-show. And control-alt-delete-show is spelled CTRLALTDELETE show. Guess who just won a spelling bee?
Hello.
Me.
Can you also find it at control-alt-delete-show.com?
You can.
Okay, perfect. So we've got it down there.
Find on your phone.
Screenshot this if you're watching, and then take another screen and just copy it directly. No, it is funny, and thank you so much. It's been really nice to meet both of you.
So nice meeting you.
And I hope that we don't get any new negative, awful comments. We will, but I appreciate you being here.
Water off a duck's back.
Hello. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.